It's 2:17 a.m. again. You're wide awake. You've been in bed since 9:30, hoping tonight would be different. But it never is. You stare at the ceiling, your thoughts swirling like a carousel that just won't stop. The house is silent, the world is asleep, but your brain refuses to power down. You shift positions, you fluff your pillow, you count backwards from 100. Still, nothing. You're not just tired, you're drained. It's the kind of exhaustion that coffee can't fix, because it's not just physical. It's emotional too. The frustration of not knowing why this keeps happening. The helplessness of thinking this is just your life now. And the worst part? Everyone around you says, that's just part of getting older. But what if it isn't? What if the real reason you wake up at the exact same time every night, like clockwork, has nothing to do with aging? And everything to do with something your body silently stopped doing years ago? Here's the truth. Thousands of seniors are finally sleeping through the night again, waking up refreshed and clear-headed, not because they found a new mattress or the perfect meditation app, but because they corrected a simple, overlooked deficiency. In this video, you'll discover how just 5 vitamins can help reset your brain's natural sleep rhythm. We'll break down how it works, why it fades with age, and how you can take it tonight to start feeling the difference. You'll hear the stories of real people just like you, who have gone from restless to restored in just days. If you've been waking up at 2 a.m. and blaming your age, this video will change the way you think about sleep, and it might just change your life. If this message speaks to you, don't leave without taking action. Hit that like button so we know you're here. Subscribe to the Senior Health Source channel and turn on the notification bell. We release fresh, science-backed content just for seniors every week. And if you know someone else struggling with broken sleep, share this video with them. Everyone deserves a peaceful night's rest. Let's get yours back, starting tonight. So what's really going on? The truth is, waking up in the middle of the night isn't just a normal part of aging. It's often your body's way of whispering, I'm missing something. And that something is usually not a sleeping pill or another gadget. It's nutrients, specific vitamins your body once made or absorbed with ease, but now, after 60, struggles to maintain. You see, as we age, our digestive system slows down, our skin doesn't absorb sunlight the same way, and certain medications deplete vital vitamins without us even realizing it. What used to be automatic now requires support, and when those essential nutrients drop too low, your brain stops getting the signals it needs to power down and stay down through the night. Here's the good news. Science has identified 5 vitamins that work together to help restore deep, natural sleep. Not by knocking you out, but by supporting your body's own systems. No grogginess. No side effects. Just your body doing what it was designed to do, once it has the right fuel. Let's begin with the first vitamin on this journey, back to restful sleep. Vitamin B6, the natural sleep switch your brain's been missing. Now, your body doesn't just fall asleep. Sleep is the end result of a beautiful chain reaction that starts with a nutrient called tryptophan, an amino acid you get from foods like turkey, eggs, and oats. Tryptophan needs to be converted into serotonin, the calming neurotransmitter that helps you relax and feel emotionally balanced. Then, as night falls, serotonin gets converted into melatonin, the hormone that tells your body, hey, it's time to shut down. But here's the catch. Your body can't do this on its own. It needs a helper, a catalyst. That helper is vitamin B6. Think of B6 as the key in the ignition. Without it, tryptophan just sits there. The process stalls, serotonin stays low, melatonin never gets produced, and even if you feel tired, your brain never gets the clear signal to transition into deep, restorative sleep. This is exactly what was happening to Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. She was falling asleep just fine around 9:30 each night, but at 2 a.m., her eyes would snap open. Her body still, but her mind wide awake. It's like I can't shut my brain off, she told me. She tried everything, no caffeine after noon, blackout curtains, even meditation apps. Nothing worked, until we looked deeper. Her blood work showed low levels of vitamin B6. Nothing dangerous, but just low enough to throw her whole sleep chemistry off balance. I recommended something simple: 50 milligrams of vitamin B6, taken about an hour before bedtime. Even better, I had her pair it with a warm cup of unsweetened almond milk, which contains a bit of tryptophan to help the process along. Within 5 nights, something remarkable happened. Margaret called me and said, "Doctor, I slept until 6:15 this morning. No waking up, no racing thoughts. I can't remember the last time that happened." What changed? Just one small adjustment. One missing piece returned to the puzzle. And Margaret's case isn't unique. A 2010 study from the University of Adelaide explored the connection between vitamin B6 and sleep quality in older adults. The findings were eye-opening. Seniors who supplemented with B6 experienced not only longer sleep durations, but also fewer nighttime awakenings, and even less vivid dreaming, that their REM and deep sleep cycles were improving. The researchers concluded that vitamin B6 plays a direct role in the body's ability to enter and maintain deep restorative sleep. That's critical, because it's during deep sleep that your body repairs tissue, balances hormones, and clears out brain fog. And here's something else you should know. Many common medications taken by seniors, like those for high blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis, can quietly deplete your B6 levels over time. So, even if your diet is decent, you could still be running on empty. That's why a small supplement can make such a big difference. Not because it's a drug or a sedative, but because it restores what your body was always designed to do. So, if you're waking up at the same time every night, if your mind won't stop spinning while your body begs for rest, this could be the first piece of your sleep solution. Not a sleep aid, not a temporary fix, just the natural fuel your brain has been asking for.
Now that we've reignited your brain's ability to produce melatonin with vitamin B6, let's talk about something even bigger: your body's internal clock. Because sleep isn't just about falling asleep, it's also about knowing when to fall asleep. And that's where vitamin D comes in. You've probably heard about vitamin D for bone strength or immune health. But what most people don't realize, especially after 60, is that vitamin D is also one of your brain's primary timekeepers. Inside your body is something called the circadian rhythm, a built-in 24-hour cycle that controls when you feel alert, when you get sleepy, when hormones rise, when they fall. This rhythm used to run like clockwork when you were younger. You felt awake in the morning, sleepy at night. Everything just flowed. But now, you feel wide awake at bedtime, and then exhausted by mid-afternoon. You wake at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep. Sound familiar? That's not just random. It's a sign your circadian rhythm is out of sync, and low vitamin D is often the reason. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 68, a retired postmaster from Arizona. When he came to me, he looked worn down, not physically, but emotionally. "Doc," he said, "I lie in bed for hours before I fall asleep. And even when I do, I'm up again before sunrise, staring at the wall." We ran a full lab panel. Everything looked decent, except one glaring number. His vitamin D level was just 16 nanograms, well below the healthy range. Now, that's not unusual. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. On top of that, seniors often spend less time outdoors. And medications like statins or corticosteroids can also interfere with vitamin D metabolism. But here's the important part. Vitamin D doesn't knock you out. It simply tells your body when to start shutting down. It's like flipping the dimmer switch on your brain's activity. Without enough of it, your brain doesn't get the signal that it's time to wind down. And so, even if you feel tired, your sleep hormones don't kick in at the right time. So, here's what we did with Harold. We started him on 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 each morning, paired with a 10-minute walk in the early sun, just enough to activate his natural rhythm without burning him out. The change wasn't instant, but within 2 weeks, Harold said something that stopped me in my tracks. "I lie down, and I don't even remember falling asleep. I just wake up, and it's morning." That's the kind of reset we're aiming for, and there's real science behind it. A 2018 study published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults with adequate vitamin D levels had significantly better sleep duration, deeper sleep quality, and fewer early morning awakenings. They weren't groggy, they were simply aligned with their natural sleep cycle again. And that's the key. When your internal clock is broken, it doesn't matter how tired you are. Your brain is on the wrong schedule. But when vitamin D levels are restored, the body returns to rhythm, the mind follows, and deep, lasting sleep becomes possible again. No pills, no forcing, just a gentle biological reset. So if you find yourself feeling tired at the wrong times, wide awake when it's dark, and groggy when it's light, don't ignore it. Check your vitamin D. Support your rhythm. So now we've realigned your body clock with vitamin D and triggered natural melatonin with vitamin B6. But what if your brain still refuses to let go at night? You lie in bed, your body tired, but your thoughts are racing. You feel alert for no reason. Almost wired. That's when we need to look deeper, not just at sleep hormones, but at what's actively blocking your rest. Let's talk about cortisol, often called the stress hormone. It's meant to be high in the morning to help you feel alert, then drop in the evening to help you relax. But for many older adults, that rhythm is broken. Cortisol stays elevated at night, keeping your mind active, your heart a little unsettled, and your nervous system stuck in alert mode. That's where vitamin C becomes a game changer. Now, most people think of vitamin C as the thing you take when you feel a cold coming on. But this humble antioxidant does something far more powerful, especially at night. It helps lower nighttime cortisol, calm inflammation, and quiet the stress response that keeps your brain from drifting into sleep. Let me share a story with you. Eleanor, a 74-year-old retired nurse from Pennsylvania, came to me with tears in her eyes. "I'm not depressed," she said, "but I wake up every single night around 1:30. My body feels tired, but my heart feels unsettled. My mind won't shut off. I just lie there, waiting." We ran some tests, no new medications, no major health flags, but her vitamin C levels were on the low end, and she was under more emotional stress than she realized, caring for her husband and managing her own health. I gave her a simple bedtime ritual: 250 milligrams of buffered vitamin C, stirred into a warm glass of water with a slice of fresh orange. No pills, no sedatives, just a gentle, calming dose taken about 1 hour before bed. After 10 days, she called me. "Doctor," she said, "I slept through the night for the first time in years. No racing thoughts, no midnight anxiety. I finally felt peaceful." And that's what vitamin C does. It doesn't sedate you. It lowers oxidative stress, tiny sparks of internal damage that build up over time from chronic conditions, medications, emotional strain. It helps cool down the inflammation that lingers silently in the background. And most importantly, it helps regulate cortisol, allowing your nervous system to exhale. There's science to back it up too. A 2014 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults with higher vitamin C levels experienced better sleep quality, fewer nighttime awakenings, and improved emotional balance upon waking. In short, they didn't just sleep better, they felt better when they woke up. And that's key, because sleep isn't only about time spent in bed. It's about the quality of that rest, whether your mind and body truly recover. And if your nervous system is flooded with stress signals, sleep can never be restorative. That's why this tiny nightly ritual, a warm glass, a slice of orange, a bit of buffered vitamin C, can be more powerful than you think. It's not just about nutrients. It's about giving your body a signal that it's safe to rest, that the day is done, that it can finally quietly let go. And when it does, sleep returns, not as something you chase, but something that comes to you. You've learned how vitamin B6 kickstarts melatonin, vitamin D resets your body clock, and vitamin C calms stress from the inside out. But what if the problem runs even deeper, into your nervous system itself? Because for many seniors, especially those living with chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease, sleep isn't just disrupted by hormones or stress. It's interrupted by something quieter, something invisible: inflammation deep inside the brain and blood vessels. That's where vitamin E steps in, not as a sleep aid, but as a protector of the entire sleep system. Let me tell you about John, a 76-year-old retired firefighter from Michigan. He was strong, independent, and used to running into burning buildings. But when it came to sleep, he felt powerless. I fall asleep no problem, he told me. But around 1 a.m., I wake up hot, restless. Sometimes my legs twitch, and then I just lie there, waiting for morning. We ran his labs. His blood pressure was under control. His diabetes was stable. But there it was again, low vitamin E. Why does that matter? Because chronic illnesses, even when managed well, create low-grade inflammation that builds up over time. This inflammation affects your blood vessels, reducing oxygen flow to the brain. It affects your nerves, especially those responsible for calming the body at night. And it even reaches your brain's sleep centers, disrupting REM cycles and the deep, slow-wave sleep your body needs to recover. Vitamin E, especially in the form of mixed tocopherols, is one of the few nutrients that can protect the brain on all three levels. It's a powerful antioxidant, but it's also a neuroprotector. It stabilizes the outer membranes of your nerve cells, reduces swelling in tiny brain vessels, and supports healthy blood flow to areas responsible for rest and regulation. So here's what I recommended to John: 200 IU of mixed tocopherol vitamin E, taken shortly after dinner. Nothing drastic, no sleeping pills, just a gentle dose of the protection his brain had been quietly asking for. 2 weeks later, he came back to my office, eyes bright. "Doc," he said, "I slept from 10 to 6 without waking up once. I didn't even toss and turn. And the twitching? Gone. I can't remember the last time that happened." That's not magic. That's science. A 2019 study published in Clinical Nutrition ESPEN found that older adults living with cardiovascular disease or diabetes who supplemented with vitamin E experienced fewer nighttime awakenings, stronger REM sleep, and reduced symptoms of restless leg syndrome and nighttime hot flashes. In short, they weren't just sleeping longer, they were sleeping better. Their sleep was restorative. And that's the difference vitamin E can make. It doesn't knock you out. It simply clears the obstacles, the inflammation, the nerve irritability, the poor oxygen delivery that have been standing between you and the deep sleep you deserve. If you're someone who wakes up sweating in the middle of the night, if your legs feel like they just won't settle, or if your sleep feels shallow no matter how many hours you're in bed, your brain may not be protected the way it used to be. That protection can start again with just one soft gel after dinner. But we're not done yet, because even with the body calmed, the nerves protected, and the clock reset, there's one more piece left: mental clarity. What if your body rests, but your brain still wakes up foggy, sluggish, not quite you? That's where vitamin B12 comes in, and it might be the missing link between sleep and feeling truly alive again. Let's dive into it.
Now let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle, the one that doesn't just help you sleep, but helps you wake up feeling clear, steady, and like yourself again. Because let's be honest, even after a full night's sleep, some mornings still feel off. You open your eyes and your body's rested, but your brain feels foggy. The room is quiet, but your mind is dull. You forget where you put your glasses. You stand in the kitchen and wonder why you walked in. This is where vitamin B12 steps in. Not as a sleep aid, but as the brain's natural restorer. B12 is essential for nerve health, mental clarity, and deep sleep signaling in the brainstem, where your sleep-wake cycle is coordinated. It helps create and maintain the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves, and keeps your brain cells firing in clear communication. But here's the catch. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 drops dramatically. Why? Because the stomach produces less intrinsic factor, a protein needed to absorb B12 from food. Add in common medications, like acid reducers, diabetes drugs, or blood pressure pills, and the absorption problem gets worse. That means many older adults are quietly living with subclinical B12 deficiency, not low enough to raise red flags on a blood test, but low enough to affect sleep depth, memory, and mood. Let me introduce you to Carol, 81, a retired school teacher from Vermont. She came to see me with soft eyes and a weary voice. I'm not anxious, she said, but I wake up tired. My body slept, but it feels like my brain never did. Some days I feel disconnected from myself. That last part hit me. Disconnected. I ordered a full nutrient panel and sure enough, her B12 was just under 250 pg/milliliter, technically still normal, but low enough to explain her symptoms. I didn't give her a pill to make her sleep. Instead, I started her on 500 milligrams of methylcobalamin, the active form of B12 that bypasses the gut and goes straight into the bloodstream when dissolved under the tongue, first thing in the morning. 3 weeks later, she returned to my office smiling. "Doctor," she said, "I sleep deeper. But more than that, I wake up clear. The fog is gone. I feel like my brain finally caught up with my body." That's what B12 can do. It doesn't sedate you, it doesn't force sleep. Instead, it restores your brain's ability to cycle through healthy sleep stages, especially REM, the stage where your mind processes emotion, stores memory, and wakes up sharp. A study published in Neuroscience Letters confirmed it. Seniors with low B12 experienced disrupted REM sleep, lighter sleep cycles, and more early morning grogginess. When B12 levels were restored, REM patterns normalized and alertness upon waking improved dramatically. And here's the best part. It's simple. Just one small dose of methylcobalamin under your tongue each morning can begin to restore what time and medication have slowly eroded. So if you're waking up foggy, forgetful, or just not fully you, this could be the missing link. Not more sleep, not more hours, but deeper, smarter rest from the inside out. Now here's the part most people miss. Because while each of these 5 vitamins, B6, D, C, E, and B12, plays a powerful role on its own, the real magic happens when you use them together, in the right rhythm. It's not about popping all your vitamins at once. It's about restoring the gentle flow your body once followed naturally. Let me tell you about Walter, an 80-year-old Navy veteran who came to me after trying everything. Melatonin, teas, white noise machines. Nothing worked. "I fall asleep fine," he said. "But like clockwork, I'm wide awake by 1:30 a.m., pacing the hallway." We didn't just give him one supplement. We gave him a rhythm. Each morning, Walter took vitamin D3 and B12 to wake up his body and reset his internal clock. After dinner, he had a warm drink with vitamin C and E to lower inflammation and quiet his nervous system. And 1 hour before bed, he took a small dose of vitamin B6 to help his brain convert serotonin into melatonin and prepare for sleep. 10 days later, Walter called me. "Doc," he said, "I slept through the night, no pacing, no watching the clock, just deep, uninterrupted sleep for the first time in years." That's the power of timing and synergy. These aren't sleep aids. They're the building blocks your body needs to remember its natural rhythm. And when taken in the right order, at the right time, your body doesn't just sleep. It heals, it resets, and it wakes up ready. Now let me show you how to build this same nightly ritual, step by step, starting tonight. And here's what I want you to remember. Sleep doesn't need to be forced. It doesn't have to come from a pill or a desperate routine of trying harder. For so many seniors, the return of deep, peaceful sleep comes from something much simpler, giving your body back what it quietly lost over time. These 5 vitamins aren't magic. They're tools that your body once used effortlessly when you were younger, and when taken with intention, morning, evening, and before bed, they can gently guide your system back to its natural rhythm. So if you've been waking up at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, feeling like restful nights are behind you, I'm here to tell you, they're not. You haven't lost your ability to sleep. You just need to support it. Consistently, calmly, one night at a time. Try the ritual. Don't rush it. Let your body relearn what it once knew. And as you do, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your story. What worked? What changed? What sleep feels like now? Because this is more than a video. This is a community, and you're part of it. If you found this helpful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Senior Health Source for more simple, science-backed health strategies made just for you. We're in this together, and your best nights may still be ahead.